Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of FPL Scoop here on Footywit. It's an episode for Gameweek 2 of the new season, and I'm joined by Michael, who's also known as FPL Roaster. So, Michael, going to Gameweek 2, what can you look back to Gameweek 1 and talk about?
Yeah, like everybody should just look forward to game week 2. We should just be very, very we should be optimistic. That's what I can just say. Because from what that was not what we all expected. Like some of us expected a higher point. We didn't really get what we wanted, but some of us are still very okay with it. So that's
Cool. So let's just I feel the game reminded us of how heartbreaking it can be sometimes in just Gameweek 1. So so let's just go over to look at our points and how we did in Gameweek 1. I think I'll go first. I ended the Gameweek with 62 points. All around everything looking good. I think the only place I fell short was in the Kane or Haaland something. I think you bottled me and you went on to get Haaland at the end of the day to start the game week. But I didn't start with Haaland. So besides, Kane fixtures was looking more better. So I started with Kane, and that's let down. I had Ramsdale 6-pointers, back four of Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, and James getting 1 point each. Then Cancelo and James getting 7 each. Then midfield of Bailey 2 points, captain Salah 24, Rashford with 2, Martinelli with 8, Jesus with 2, and then Kane with 2. So it felt like the big letdown with Kane, since Haaland went out of his way to score 2 goals against West Ham. I don't think anybody would have seen that coming naturally, though we knew that Man City would have been who they are, but I didn't really see 2 goals for Haaland all of a sudden coming. So, but that's what I got for Game Week 1. So, and it's not bad. It's a good start. Though I'm ranked at 3 million after Game Week 1, but it's a good start. So going forward. So let's go through your team then. Walk us through your team.
All right.
I think I ended 3 points.
So I got overall. Then normal for Cancelo because we expected something like this. I didn't really expect that 7 point from James, because if you observe, he got a yellow card, but he's in the 2 bonus points, so it was fine there. I think the letdown we all had was where they ended with 1 point each. So there was not much difference with the managers that Diaz over Robertson, because the game was really bad for them. The Rams, because of the clean sheet, there was no save point at all, but it was very close to making points. Then
I think Fulham took them by quite a surprise. Like, it was so surprising. Fulham took them by surprise.
That's the highlight that for me. Then Pedro Neto and Leon Bailey, they were like so many people let us down during Game Week 1. Why they have been performing in the preseason. So I think that's FPL managers are always looking to avoid. Then Martinelli and what they normally do. Like Martinelli has been great. We talked about it. Like then Salah, there's no obligations. He's just the man for fantasy. Then you said I peeped you and where we talked about getting Kane. So this is what happened. Like I told you the way I'm setting. Though I don't want to make any changes to my team for till Game Week 3. So the that is by starting with Haaland, because the Western fixture, I saw it like a fixture that are not that good defensively. Then Bournemouth, they have Bournemouth and play. So and Tottenham, they are having Chelsea to play in Game Week 2. So if I was to do it, I'll be from Kane to Haaland, which later became the most popular transfer target. So that was what I wanted to avoid. And obviously, Kane got in points and Haaland got. So there I got the advantage. Then.
Yeah, right. So it's a good one. You're on 73 points. That's awesome to start the season. And going forward, because we've seen the likes of strikers do well. Last season we had a bad season for strikers. Yeah. Very bad. Even strikers at the price at premium prices were not doing well. So, but looking at it now, with the likes of Nunes and even Mitrovic, Wilson we talked about the other time. The whole squad in Gameweek 1. Does this mean that strikers are back for us? What do you think generally?
I like when we're talking the last time, like I said, I talked about getting Mitrovic, but it's going to be a risk somehow getting him in your squad. That was why I felt like, okay, Wilson is the guy, a risk, and we're expecting something from him, and both of them delivered to me. But I couldn't start with any of them. I'm afraid of rank drop, because if they didn't perform and most popular speak like perform, I would like go down very well. That's why I had to follow. Yeah, so that's why I didn't get any of them either. But I remember I recommended Mitrovic to someone, team in his squad. He got Mitrovic and Darwin Nunes. I talked about I chat of making a draft with Nunes in it. I don't know if you remember. Yes. For the guy, I forgot to send it to you, but I sent it to him. That draft was having Nunes and it was having. So, and he started with it and he finished on 93 points.
Awesome.
So I felt like I gave someone out like an advice and he got 93 points because I was like scared for the point drop. So, but there's still much.
Anyways, let's move forward then. So Nunes, I think Nunes did very well. He overperformed his XG that match, and he came on as a sub and still did very well. I will be very surprised if he doesn't start the Liverpool game. So, but anyways, talking about all these changes and everything about strikers and goals, it's just Gameweek 1 and we've had a lot of price changes. Like I think we've had up to over 15 price changes in terms of price drops and rises in just how many days? I think it's just 4 days into it. So looking at it, what do you think of generally of these price changes?
Yeah, normally like something like as the year advances, as the season advances, like people are more difficult, and this is part of the thing we are saying. Like in terms of like players taking the court, so making it difficult for we managers because this price drop usually affects our team. So I think that's why I like set my team. Because I remember from Taylor as a striker from Nottingham Forest, but I saw like, okay, I would have gone as the Aston Villa guy because I feel like he won't drop in price. So it's just like trying to have a field are not going to do well. I think one player we should be looking out for to taking him out of our teach. It all depends on his game tomorrow against Chelsea. Against us well, he is going to avoid the price drop. But definitely, if he does not come to that game, definitely is going to drop in price because I see so many people taking him out. So that
lots of persons are complaining about the price drop being a very bad feature in the game. But I think it's just part of the game. It's part of what they established as things to make it difficult for everybody. Now that prices have gone up for Kulusevski, if you didn't went for him early on, you'll definitely be affected by it. And we've also had some tools to monitor the price rises and price drops over the season. I think there's Fantasy Football Fix, there's also other FPL tools that you can use to manage these things. So whatever, if you don't have these tools at your hands, if you have these tools at your hands, you should be able to use them to monitor the changes. If you're already taking up a transfer, anything that may warranty you to go for it early on because it may have a price increase, go ahead and do it. So cool, that's it. That's cool. Then I think next we should talk about the coming fixtures because now we're in Game Week 2 and fixtures has changed a lot. Game Week 1 has gone. So the coming fixtures for these teams, I picked up this graphic from Fantasy Football Scouts and it's currently ranking Brighton at top of the fixture ticker currently, with Newcastle, West Ham, and Leeds for the next 6 at least. For the next 7, Brighton ranks as top of the ticker, and there's Arsenal next. Arsenal's fixture were already very good from game week 1 onset, so it's why we picked them in the first place. So looking at this top, let's say, okay, down to Man City, is there any asset we should target regarding these fixtures that are coming up? Anyone you can point out?
Like from Brighton, we saw how good they were. Like Pascal Gross, like he really he's going to be like one to go to from there, because he was like very on form. He looked very sharp, and Trossard wasn't really that impressive. He should be like on your scout list. So that's the fixture does not really interest me. It does until like, let me say, I see like 2 to 3 of their games, then I cannot be like, okay, let me.
Yeah. So right, but I feel the fixture is the best possible way for us to look forward and try and strategize our team if you have to make a transfer this game week. Because I personally like the idea of rolling your transfers to next game week, such that in game week 3 you have 2 transfers to adjust to whatever changes the game will present us. So I personally like the idea, which is why I am seriously having troubles whether I should do this Kane to Haaland transfer. But we'll come to that later on. So let's just quickly, before I go on, just to remind you that image is from Fantasy Football Scouts. There's nice websites where you can go on to check out a lot of things. They have XG tables. They have tables regarding almost lots of information. You can have lots of information from there. Kindly, you could easily pick up a plan to pay if you want to be a member of the Scout channel. And then there are so many attached possibilities to it, things you could use to help yourself. So going forward, now let's talk about the whole captaincy issue. Now, a lot of persons have moved from Kane to Haaland. And if you are moving from Kane to Haaland in this game, you should definitely be thinking of captaining. So you, as someone that owns him already, what do you think?
Yeah, that's part of the reason I brought in. I started with, if not, I would have gone with Kane, because I was targeting that Bournemouth fixture for Man City. We turned that game into a table tennis scoreline. So and turning it into a table, how Haaland will get like an involvement in that game because he's starting the game. So that was why, like, for managers that don't have that Haaland in their team, but they do have Salah, so I will still be like, okay, still leave the captain handbag on Salah, because although there's this as in gotten a double-digit haul in guys always in his game, yes, but I know in game week 2 he has not gotten a double-digit haul, but against Crystal Palace. So, but I still think, like, personally, since the Liverpool, the kind of manager club is, he's going to like give his player the reason they are definitely behind against Man City. So I know the rivalry between this Salah is going to be like, okay, for managers who don't have Haaland, you can still like captaincy on Salah, then and you can just still hold it with Kane for the moment to spend game week 3. That's how my approach is. But for we that started with Salah, I think, like, obviously I will still leave the captain armband on Haaland. Okay,
cool. Yeah, I feel managers who were brave enough to captain him in game week 1, they got their reward. But it was very brave. Yeah, I got to be very brave to have captained him in game week 1. Anyways, so Haaland looking like the top of the captaincy list this game week. I have a community on WhatsApp where I did a poll. I think you're a part of the community now. I did a poll and Haaland was already top of the whole. Currently, Haaland is top of the pool already. So Haaland is looking like a very good captain. The only thing that, FPL happens, and sometimes Haaland may go the whole season and still not return for us. That's when it's going to be a very big problem. If it goes this game week and against Bournemouth doesn't return, let's try with that high score. I still feel like I still have the nudge that Salah is going to outscore in this game week. But let's just leave that there. So going forward, since we are already getting prepared for game week 2, and I feel we should just take a look at our teams currently. I think you should go first since I went first for the pointers. So just go first and walk us through your team and tell us what you intend on doing.
Yeah, this is my team. Same way with game week 1. The idea there is not to make any changes to my squad to save that free transfer. I'm still sticking with Ramsdale. My defense line is still the same thing. Then I'm giving them a chance for now. Then Martinelli and Salah are still in my team, but the only switch the captain from Salah to Haaland because of he has like that fixture to perform Salah. I feel he's going to still outperform Salah in this game.
Okay, cool. That's very cool. I think my team is pretty much the same with yours. The only difference currently is the Kane that I own, and then Rashford in midfield instead of Neto. So we have pretty much a very similar team. Just going over to my team now. I currently have my armband on Salah, and I still haven't done the switch from Kane to Haaland. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I went on in my FPL, my team selection video on my channel today. I Sabi FPL. I went on to say I will think about it, or I'll try as much as possible not to make the transfer because I wanted to have this team up to game week 3 to have that extra transfer in the bucket. So, but going my team, I feel I may eventually make the switch from Kane to Haaland. If I do it by any chance, I definitely have to captain Haaland then, because bringing Haaland in and then captaining Salah, it may seem like a turn off, especially if I just brought him in and with that 0.2 million change. The only thing I feel I will do differently to what is here is, apart from the Haaland switch, is starting Andres Pereira over Bailey. There have been talks about Bailey being injured. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. Is it anything concrete yet?
I came across.
I think Pereira doesn't come out to say he's injured. His press conference is tomorrow. So
yes.
We have to, until we hear from press conference and see how it is. And the game is an early kickoff too, so we may get some leak lineups to be able to make our decisions better. But if by any chance I have the nudge or idea that it's not going to feature or not going to start, I will definitely start Andres Pereira over him, because Andres Pereira looks good, especially in that Liverpool game. I think you watched the game, right?
I watched it. If you look at my team, Pereira as my first sub, just because of that situation. That was why my first sub. So in case he's going to come in for him, so that's just the idea there.
Yeah, right. It's cool. Okay, no problem. So if you're tuned in to this FPL scoop, please do subscribe to the channel. We do lots of content over the season. We have the Chelsea fan corner, Man United fan corner, and other discussions to help fans go on with Footywit. The Footywit community is very nice and wonderful space. So be sure to tune in whenever we have these episodes or other episodes you're interested in. If you're a Man United fan, tune into our Man United session whenever we have it. So let's just go on to talk about our FPL league, because Footywit is basically based in Nigeria. So we try as much as possible to build a league around Nigeria. And the league is sponsored by AM Jerseys. AM Jerseys is an online shop where you can buy jerseys or tees or whatever, or other Nike polos. Just go onto the shop at amjerseys.shop. You can easily shop whatever your jerseys you need from any club. National jerseys also are available. So go on to get it, and it will be delivered to you everywhere in Nigeria on per demand. So let's look at our league that's sponsored by AM Jerseys now. I think the top managers of the leagues are not, though it's game week 1, and we can't really read into it much, but we have some managers who are currently topping. First position is Top XI by Paul Olise. Shout out to Paul Olise, currently with 89 points. That's wonderful. Second position currently now is a team Nature owned by Lifted Noble. So Lifted Noble, shout out to you. We acknowledge the fact that you're second in our league. And then we have Gentle Fresh Guy, Suicide Squad, Black Noir for Ferry Larry. Ferry Larry is a personal friend of mine, so shout out to Larry also. And then Tomiwa Marvelous. So these are the top managers in our league currently. It's early days, and it could get tricky because, especially with managers like me and Michael, I believe Michael are going to give them some trouble as in the coming game weeks, right?
Yeah, number 9 in the league, so not too far from there. So they should just like watch.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's early days, but we acknowledge that these people have done well in Gameweek 1 and they're currently ranked in the top. So shout out to all these managers and all managers who are part of our FPL league. So just like I said earlier on, this will be available on the podcast or whatever. So listen to Footywit on Spotify. You can also subscribe to the channel to follow up our other contents. We do the fan corner of different clubs, Chelsea, Man United, even Arsenal fan corner. So just for you to identify with whatever we're doing and keep on with the progress. Thank you for tuning in. And it's going to be a good game week 2, right? By all means. Or what do you think, Michael?
Yeah, definitely. We're just like hoping for Liverpool to amend from what they did to us last. Yes, everything is going to be all right. Then we know Salah, we're expecting something. Then Martinelli, we're expecting same. Just all around the squad, our squad should still be able to power us through this game week 2 before we make any change. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So thank you very much, Michael, for tuning in, and thank you to everybody who has tuned in for this episode. Be sure to keep in touch with Footywit channel so you listen to the next episode, and then we'll see you on the next one. Have a very wonderful game week 2. Ciao.